So we got to visit Vatican City before we leave Rome tomorrow morning. But how was your overall experience here in Rome?
I loved it, and I wish we had more time. There's still so much to do here, and so much that we have not seen. I would love to come back.
Definitely would love to come back. It just feels like even though it's a small city, there's so much left to do, so much stuff to see. We also chose the wrong museums to go to.
Yeah.
But, you know, you live and you learn, and it gives us another excuse to come back. But we're heading home for the night. We gotta be up at 6 a.m. We gotta pack for a flight. We gotta pack for a flight tonight. Not just pack, however, we gotta organize it properly. But yeah, we're gonna leave at 6 a.m. Peace. Good morning, YouTube. We are back and we made it to Greece.
Athens.
We're in Athens. Waiting for our bus. Flight wasn't too long, just a couple hours, but we did have to get up early as shit.
2 hours.
Oh yeah, 2 hours. Didn't I just say that?
Couple hours.
That's 2 hours. A couple is two. We're a couple. There's only two of us. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I played Angry Birds and almost beat the game. But gonna head to our hotel. Don't really know what we got planned for the day, but you guys will be joining us.
And that's why the city is called Athena. Huh?
We made it to Athens. And a quick room review before I bring the luggage in. It's nice. There's a lot of space. Bathroom was nice. See why I did that? You don't need to put a card in. Ooh, this is real nice. Not a huge shower, but it's nice. Glass cups, towels. A little more of the room, got a nice little view of the city. And if you look back there, we got the ocean. Or the Mediterranean Sea. Wow. I already love Greece. That was a very delicious meal. We just went back to our room to have a nice nap, which was only like 30 minutes, but it was definitely a good nap. Now we're going to be touring the Acropolis. Bree's still a little tired, we're a little full. So, not a lot of energy in this right now because still a little sleepy, right?
Yeah,
Still a little full.
Very full still.
But it's gonna be fun.
On top, it's the same style. Corinthian style. Remember we went to the Pantheon? It was the same style as well. Why is that? Because it's the style that the Romans they used it. Imagine that Hadrian took one of the capitals, when I say capitals, I mean the head.
The entire sidewalk is made out of marble.
When it rains, it's probably so slippery.
Yeah, facts.
I remind you good shoes, not good slippers. Medieval times. Byzantium used to be Constantinople. Byzantine times, we were under their reign.
That's nice.
That is so cool.
The area over there used to belong to one town owner that was really, really rich. So what do? You need a tower to overlook someone getting into your property. So that's what was over.
Anita Maxwin.
The Acropolis Museum. Are you excited? Anything you want to say?
I'm excited.
Can you guys guess that she's excited?
Earthquakes. So the first thing that the people, when they build their houses, want to do is to appease the gods from the animals. So how would they do that? They would actually sacrifice small animals before. If you come across, you see that the figures on top, they're not red figure anymore. They're black figure anymore. Sorry, I said spoiler. They're red, the same color as the clay that was used. So this style started in Athens. So we got our revenge from the Corinthians. We started a better style. From black figure, we went to red figure, and that gave us more freedom for all the facial characteristics. Now, who's brave enough to tell me who that god is in the middle? You can tell me that's a woman, but that's not a woman. This guy here. Who's gonna see the attributes of the god around him? And Dionysus had a very sad upbringing in the beginning. Do you know his myth? Who's the biggest womanizer ever?
Zeus.
Zeus. If it wasn't for Zeus, our mythology would be like this. Now it's like this. So it was Zeus, always incests with Zeus. He fell in love with Dionysus' mother. But Dionysus' mother was not a goddess, she was a mortal lady. She was a princess. And Hera knew about it. Hera was the legal wife of Zeus. What's her favorite animal? Peacock. Peacock has a lot of eyes, so she could see whenever her husband was cheating on her. Do you know the song of ABBA? I've been cheated by you. So this one, actually, Hera would sing to her husband. So what happened? Hera disguised herself into an old lady, went to the palace of Dionysus' mother. She could see what was going on between Dionysus' mother and herself. And one day she saw that her belly was growing bigger and bigger, so she was waiting for Dionysus. And the old lady slash Hera asked her, "Who's the father of that baby?" And the princess said, "You know what? You're an old lady, I trust you. That's Zeus, the father of all." And the lady said, "Are you sure it's Zeus? Have you seen him with his full divine glory, all the light coming from his body?" Because she knew that she was mortal. And I'm not trying to be sexist here, but whenever you have this kind of doubt in the mind of a woman, you can never take it out. So she insisted to Zeus to show that he was a god, divinity. And one day he had to show all this. All the light came from his body, and what happened? She died. Hera won, but the womb was there, the womb of Dionysus. So Zeus took the womb and he sewed it on his thigh. So he gave birth to his son from his thigh. That's why Dionysus in Greek, Dio, means two. Dionysus means born twice. Once from his mother's belly, and secondly from his father's thigh. But Hera knew that there was a boy that was already born over there. So he had to disguise himself into a girl. He played with girly toys, he was dressed up as a woman, so he was the very first transvestite in the history of humankind. And that's why when I showed you the lead over there, you said, "Is that a man?" Well, in the beginning you see Dionysus, it's a bit hermaphrodite. You're not sure if it's a man or a woman, right? So this was depicted here. We have one of his followers, we have the boy here, Dionysus. He's holding the mask because he has to disguise himself. This is the beginning of theater as well, disguising from Hera. And it's all about masks in the ancient theater, because the only people that could perform were the men. And you studied theater, was not the women. So they needed this kind of garments, special masks. Now, this guy here is a bit strange because you see he wears this kind of costume. Made out of what? Goat skin. How do we say goat in Greek? Dragos. How do we say to sing? Odio. If we combine the two words, we have tragedy. So why it's called tragedy? Because in the beginning, the followers of Dionysus were dressed up in goat skin and they would sing. So they would sing up to one point, the 6th century before Jesus Christ, we don't know exactly when, one of the dancers and singers started a dialogue with another one. So that was the beginning of the theater as we know it nowadays. We wouldn't have Meryl Streep if it wasn't for that reason, and that happened in Athens. That's why we're so proud. So, which means that, sorry, I didn't tell you the name. This guy, his name was Thespis, and you have a word in English, thespian, the actors, right? So this was the beginning of the theater. You're gonna talk more about the theater because it's at the Acropolis site we're gonna visit tomorrow. But this is the reason why he has this follower here and the small baby. I know it's Halloween nearby, but it's not his head. When I have kids, guiding say, "Oh, it's Halloween." No, guys, that's just a mask, not the head of Dionysus. On top of the hill, so we will see official temples now. Can you see this shape? What's the shape? Triangles. Why do we call them barbarians? You didn't speak barbarians because you didn't speak Greek. So everyone that didn't speak Greek was a barbarian. Because when we so the English speakers you're gonna see these ladies here, this kind of which shape of Greek letter? No, see? Looks like a U, but we call it pi, 3.14, right? Because these ladies here protect the tomb over here. Imagine there was a tomb of one of our legendary kings. So these ladies are actually mourning the loss of our king that lies over here. Every lady had different hairdo. And imagine, let's say there's a lady who has a roof on top. What do we do? The first part of the body that will break. The neck. Who's the neck? The neck. How do you protect the neck from getting broken? With a hairdo. All the hairdos are so voluminous in order to add marble to the neck so it doesn't break. Right? They're more than the natural scale, it's more than 2 meters high. And you see, let's go to the other side. You see that this one here is completely destroyed. Why? Because for so many years they were on top of the hill. We know it was like this thanks to any descriptions. So it was made out of gold and ivory. She's holding a Nike, this goddess with the wings, and she has, if you see behind her shield, there's a snake to protect. Because the snake is also a symbol of the Athenians. Do you know that the snake, alongside you have 2 eggs plus 1, because that gives better aesthetic results, right? And this is the golden ratio that they used. So we say we have 8 columns over here by 17. So that's the Parthenon. You see that we have the roof that creates 2 pediments, one to the west and one to the east. I'm going to show you how the pediment used to look like from Zeus' head. So once again, who is the biggest womanizer? Zeus. He fell in love with Athena's mother. But this time Athena's mother was a titan, she was a divinity, which means 17. How many consciences on the other side? 8. It's a copy exact of the Parthenon over there. You see the hill behind you? That's the highest point of the city, Lake Athens here. Why did we choose this to become this religious center? Completely vanished. We don't know where they came. We don't know if they existed in the first place. But here, we have this one that's completely destroyed, and another one that's in a very good condition. Any idea why? What do you think it happened when the Christians came? It was transformed into a church dedicated to whom? Mary the Virgin. Exactly. So when the Christians saw this sculpture, they said, looks like Mother Mary. Waiting for Archangel Gabriel, believing to say that she was about to give birth to Jesus, right? So for them it was something Christian. So when the Christians saw something in the ancient world that told something to them, they would keep it. That's why all the heads are destroyed. The rest is very good condition, right? But this one is completely destroyed. So this is what we call in history of art interpretatio Christiana, Christian interpretation. So thanks to this kind of misunderstanding, we have quite a few things still in good shape, although we have Christianity here. Now, you see that we have these kind of sculptures in this level, but if you went inside, where we had the room for the statue, we had other kind of sculptures, and you see these kind of sculptures. It's in continuous line. What is depicted here? Can you see something?
See, I thought it was all those. But I think these are also Roman marbles that were taken. These are still pretty cool.
Horses. What was the biggest fest for the Athenians?